Okay, as mentioned, this is not a good start. This is a split path. Immediately a split path. Also, there's a silver key in here. Right down here. There it is. Oh boy. Like, immediate concern. Immediate concern because of the split path. Like, we had the all main path yesterday's lab, and now we're gonna have like 2 weeks of bad labs, aren't we? That's what's gonna happen. Switch puzzle? Switch puzzle. Again, just hit all these in a circle and it'll open. Hello, key. Oh my god, I'm messing up my weapon swaps. You want to cry since the perfect lab is gone forever? It's not gone forever, it just won't be back for 2 years. Yay, lab RNG. It also just occurred to me that part of my t-shirt's being green screened out.
Gold is the most liberating of metal.
I'm wearing my Path of Exile Ascendancy shirt, and like part of it's invisible. Don't worry about it. Actually, now I'm a little sad that I can't wear this shirt on stream because it gets green screened out. Boo. I still find it funny that I only own one Path of Exile t-shirt, and it happens to be the Ascendancy t-shirt. If that feels somewhat appropriate for the lab guy. Of all the Path of Exile t-shirts owned, it is only this one that I have. Okay, so that path had nothing in it, which is fine. Because that means everything should be in... You only need to do this path if you want stuff. As Arcus is over here. Yay! Main room Argus. Alright. Does it seem promising? It does seem a little promising. Now that the split path is... The problems with the split path... The problems with the split path normally are... You have to do both paths. However, you don't have to do both paths today. You only need to do one side, since the other side just has a silver key and nothing else. Alright, Trap Gauntlet. Good evening, Riku. Speaking of that, it was kind of, I found it kind of funny that on yesterday's Reddit post, someone commented on the Reddit post and on the Daily Labyrinth thread. He replied to my post and said, "Ooh, this is an amazing lab. By the way, you should do the cosplay. You should do the Zana thing again." I was like, great. Unfortunately, I don't own... Well, I still have like 90% of the costume. I'm just missing shoes and that's it. Okay, I did not kill the lieutenant by accident.
My 3 lieutenants remain. Misery loves company, I suppose.
Oh, I didn't mark the weapon. Oh. What was that emote supposed to be? What emotion were you trying to convey with that emote? That did not show up because I don't have enough emote slots for BTTV. It was a thinking emote. Okay, what is over here? I see a thing. It's another trap gauntlet. Hooray! Open. Now I need to hit this lever first, that's right. Okay, so that is 3 out of 4 of the gauntlets and puzzles along the main path. Honestly, this is fine. This is already good for keys because now I know whether or not I need to do the escort gauntlet. The escort gauntlet is the last key object I need to find, and I know whether or not I need to do it. In this case, I don't, because I have gotten all the keys already, so I can skip the escort gauntlet if I want to. What else? Also, if the escort gauntlet decides to be a rude and spawn in the side room, then you can completely skip it, which is nice. What is this? This is empty. You banged your table because you died to reflect? So let's cleave jug. Are you using Brightbeak? Do you have the weapon swap? Because I do have I have a crit cleave jug. I actually pronounced that correctly instead of saying click cleave, but it's crit cleave jug. And I didn't use it to farm lab the entire last league. And it felt fine. Most because the leaf slam setup really helped. Hey, second enchant. I do have the swap, but it's the moving, jumping too far, and getting stuck. Oh, are you Oh, you're unpredictive. Yeah. I can see that being a problem. I can very much see that being a problem. You're on lockstep. Okay, never mind then. How the heck are you getting stuck on lockstep? Like... how are you getting, like, stuck in objects with lockstep? Yes, I was insane. Hopefully today doesn't suck. Well, it's so far promising for a key run. Unfortunately, the first dark trend's in the side room. Right, this has to lead to the side room. Yeah, this led to the side room, so I don't need to check that side room. There's crap in the map you can't jump over, like you can't jump over a switch. I don't know, maybe it's because I've just used it for all eternity. I haven't really ever had a problem leap slamming through lab. Good evening, Quiet Leaf. How am I doing? I'm doing alright. Had a relatively easy school day today as I just took an exam and didn't do anything else for the rest of the day. Granted, I was still on campus. I was still on campus the entire time because I go to class with my older brother and he had extra classes today and I did not, so I was just in the library in the car for many hours. How is the exam? Frustrating. I think I'm okay with the exam. I think I made probably like an 85-ish. Probably around that range. I definitely got a B, is what I'm saying. I definitely got a B on the test. I answered every single question, and I answered it very confidently. However, the reason it was frustrating was a couple of things. One, life happened. And there were 2 accidents along the way to the campus. Not only were there 2 accidents, it was 2 accidents on a 2-lane road. So I got to class like 20 minutes late on an exam day. Thankfully, my professor still let me take the exam, but that was already a problem that in an hour and 20-minute class, I had 20 minutes knocked off to take the exam. So that was frustrating. The other thing that was frustrating was there was a study guide. There was a study guide for the exam. The study guide only covered half the exam, though. Like, legit, the study guide only covered half the exam. The study guide was 4 pages. Actually, no, it was 3 pages. And the 3 pages covered 3 of the questions on the exam, but the exam was 6 long pages. So there's 3 other pages that we had not gone over. Or 3 pages that we did in class, but he never told us to take note of. He never said like, hey, this is gonna be important later. It was just like, this is a thing. Alright, let's move on. And as a result, when it showed up on the test, I was like, oh, that's how this is gonna be. Okay. So thank God I remembered how to do it. I remembered how to do it, so I was able to do the extra pages. However, my older brother, who is taking the class with me, he did not have a fun time today. This is how bad the exam was, that when I got to those questions, I was like, Long's not gonna like this. I knew that my older brother was gonna have an issue, like, immediately. Because, like, oh, okay, we did this together, so he's good with this. This, however, his brain's gonna die. His brain's gonna die. And this one he might do. It was like one of those situations. This is for calculus. This is for calculus. Okay, and also ice. That is another dark shrine in Saturn, which sucks. What is left? We have 1 dark shrine and the escort gauntlet still. In college, professors usually don't tell you what to take notes on. You have to do it yourself or take the initiative notes. For calculus, those curveball, you always... Yeah. I should expect this. However, what I was not expecting was the definition of a derivative to show up once in class and then to show up on tests. It's one of those situations, like, if I see him repeating something over and over and over, it's like, okay, I expect that we're gonna have to do something like this. For example, what was it? Something that showed up that we only did once. Well, something that showed up repeatedly that we did. Graphing a parabola and then finding its tangent line. Like that, we've done multiple times in class. So I was expecting that to show up. However, he also decided he threw in something that we didn't do, which was he threw in graph the 1/x equation and then find the tangent line of that. We didn't do that, however, because we've graphed a quadratic so many times. I was like, all right, this I can do. However, when we made the definition of a derivative once, and we did it once, and then it showed up as an exam question, kind of threw me off. Take this listen. Always take notes. I literally have like 20 pages of notes for this entire exam. And I can confidently say the definition of derivative is only 1 page of these many pages. Because we didn't do it that often. One shrine main path, 2 shrines main path. Yeah. I'm not, it's not that I don't take notes, like, I'm not one of those people who doesn't take notes during class. I freaking take notes. Again, the weird part is for calculus, all of the paper I had portioned off from, like, a ream of notebook paper. I portioned off some of it for calc, some for geology, and some for programming. I've already used up all the paper for calculus, and still have, like, extra paper for geo and programming. So that's where it's kind of throwing me for a loop. It's like, I
can't do this just yet.
I'm confident that I took thorough notes because outside of that one question on the exam, I was golden for the rest of the exam. Outside of that one question, everything else I was like, alright, I can do it. It was just that seeing that one question show up, I'm like, really? You're throwing this at us. It was just a surprise to me. Like, I'm not necessarily, like, angry or... like, I'm not happy, I'm not sad, I'm not angry or mad about it. I'm just kind of, like, surprised and somewhat frustrated. It's like, oh, you pulled one of these. That's college for you, but still, yeah, it's really annoying. You tackle one topic, but not fully tackle it, and then you test on it. Yeah. Also, this wasn't in the, this was not a
I believe in traveling.
he doesn't necessarily give homework, but he recommends questions to do from the textbook to help us with the test. I have done said questions. The question was not in the textbook. This question was not in the textbook at all. Or this type of question was not in the textbook.